So, so in this module 2, that is Java Basics, you'll be having three types, five chapters total. In that, I have already discussed with module chapter 1 and chapter 2 in the previous video lecture. So in today's class, you will be discussing about data types, variables, and arrays. So first topic is data types, second topic variables, third topic is arrays. So it is rather you are all familiar with all these concepts. Now you have to see what these basic things are. So there will be no change rather than distinct compared to C and C++. But here, but here you will be having all these three revised like C and C++. So first of all, you consider Java is a strongly typed language. It is important to state that Java is strongly typed because of its safety and security it is going to provide. As you are all are familiar of security of using private, public, and protected in data members and member functions in C++, here we are having the security only for member functions, because member functions are going to give you the results. So that's why we are making use of this particular security features. So first, every variable has data type. All data types which are similar to C and C++ are used here, but their size are a bit different. So first you are going to discuss with data types. So come for the first topic under that. So primitive in the sense basic data types. So Java will support 8 primitive data types, so which are broadly classified into 4 categories: integers, floating point numbers, characters, and Boolean. So integer will consist of byte, short, int, long. Floating will consist of float and double. Character will consist of char data type, while Boolean will consist of two values, which is true or false. So the most of the Boolean values will be used only in the concept of relational expressions. So we will discuss each and everything here: integer, floating point, char, and Boolean. So first you come for the integer. So integer, I have already told, it is broadly classified into 4 primitive, that is integers. So under integer you will be getting byte, short, int, and long. So here there is no assumption of signed and unsigned numbers as we compare it to C data types. So C will have signed data type, unsigned data type, each and everything using %u, %s, and all. But in Java, we are making use of signed, positive, and negative values. Java does not support unsigned. So that is the concept you are having here. So next you will be having, so what are the description of each and everything. So that will be summarized in this particular table. We start with a lower order to higher order. So first will be the byte. Byte will contain 8 bits. Next, short 16, integer 32, long with 64. Keep in your mind this particular bytes, it ranges from -128 to 127. So these values are required while you go for the calculation purpose. So keep this one in your mind. This is enough. Integer, short, byte, and long. So after that, now we move on to description of each and everything. So byte is a 8-bit. So 8-bit means byte will have how many bytes? It will be having 1 byte. Byte will contain 1 byte as storage. It consists of 8 bits. So that while declaring of variables, we can make use of data types like byte, b, comma, c, where b and c are the variables of data type byte, which can hold of how many digits? 8 digits each. Next you come for the short. Short is a signed 16-bit type. It has a range from -32,768 to +32,767. So short will have, it is the least used value. Short is makes use of signed 16-bit. 16-bit means it is 2 byte. So it is a range of from 2 bytes. Here as the example, short SNT. These are the SNT or the variables of data type short. Next you come for the integer. Integer is of 2 bytes. That is, it is assigned 32-bit type that has range given below. So although You might think that using byte and short will be more efficient than using int, but for larger range of int is not needed. So when you go for if it is a larger size, then you go for int. Rather, if it is low, you can make use of byte as well as short. So next you come for the concept called int integer, short. Next you come for long. So long is a signed 64-bit type and useful for most cases where int is not large. So following is the program which makes use of all types of data types till now what you have seen. So here we declare a class. So what is the program? It computes the distance light travels using long variables. So compute distance light travels using long variables. So you take it as class light. Inside that class light is the class name, whereas file name should also be light.java only. So main is a method or a member function. Keep in your mind, here we are not making use of data members, but we are making use of member functions. So member functions in the sense main function you are using. So main, inside that you are using so many variables with a code. So in that, how many integer variables and how many output variables you have to see. Input variables are light and days, because you are giving the light speed as 186, which is the input, and days as 1000, which is the input variables. Next you go for the seconds and distance, that are the output variables. That means you are going to calculate the value. Seconds is equal to day star 24 star 60 star 60. So finally you are going to calculate the distance. If you give in 1000 days, how many distance the light can travel. In 1000 days, how many distance a light can travel? That will be the output you are giving. You are making use of C. You are using print statement, but not println. So when you go for print in plus days, you can give it as in how many days? It is 1000 days. In 1000 days, light will travel about how many distance? That distance will be given like here, light speed star seconds. So that output will be like that. So now you are finished with an integer. Now you come for the floating point. So floating point means here you are getting the fractional part. For example, if you get the value as 2, you can go it for integer. But if you are getting 2.2, 2.3, 10.1 and all, then you are making use of floating point values. Under that you are getting two types. The one is float, the other one is double. Float will is double the size of integer. So integer will have value 2, float will have 2.2. So first 2 is of integer, second 2 is also in integer. So 2 plus 2 is equal to 4. So 4 means how many bits you will have? 4 into 8 is equal to 32 bits you will be having. So that is how float will have 32 and double will have 64. So come for the double. Double uses how many bits? 64 bits. Rather than going for theory, you can concentrate on programs and type the programs, see the outputs, and analyze how it is going to work. So here we are going to take it as class area. So area is the class name. So file name should be area.java. So next you take public static void main. So under that you take the two input variables pi and r. So this program is going to illustrate the use of double. Okay, so not float, it is the use of double variables to compute the area of circle. So input variables are pi and r, and output variable is a. A is calculated using pi star r star r. As you all know, area of the circle, the formula is pi r square. It will be expressed as pi star r star r. Now we are printing the value of area by using the output variable a. So after that, now you come for the characters. So that is the third category what you are going to have. The character is used to store the characters. In C and C++, char is 1 byte long. That is, it is not the case in Java. In C and C++, char is 8 bits, but in Java it is 16 bits long. So all the integer values will be assigned a ASCII value. So if any character will contain numbers, it will be converted into characters depending on their ASCII value. So following is the program, we can see it here. So class char, you take it as char demo. So under char demo, you have public static void main. You take two character variables ch1 and ch2 of char data type. For ch1, you give a value 88. 88 means that number 88 is to be converted into character. That is 88 will be converted into ch1. So 88 is the code for character X. So ch1 will contain a value X. Similarly, ch2 will having a value Y. Now we are making use of print and println statements. So as you all know, the print will have print the statement and cursor remains in same line. So now when you go for print statement, ch1 and ch2 will be printed and cursor remains in same line. Next you have the value println ch1 plus ch2. Now we print the value ch1 contains X and ch2 will contain Y. So now the cursor will be the statement will be executed in the same line, and then the cursor will move to the next line that you are having the empty space. You are having the empty space after ch1 and ch2. So here is another simple example. Now in the previous we have assigned a value which will be converted into character. Now we are having a character and we are incrementing it. Actually incrementing will be done only for what? Only for integer values, but you can have a increment operation for characters also, that you can take it as char ch1 char ch1 and ch1 is equal to X. So when you are going for the println, ch1 contains X will be printed. So now we are going for ch1 plus plus. That means X will be incremented by 1. So incremented by 1 means after X will be having Y. So now ch1 is now, after X, what will be the output? It will be Y. ch1 is now Y. That will be the output you will be displayed here. So in this program, first given value X, ch1 is incremented, which results in ch1 containing Y. Y, the next character in ASCII and Unicode sequence. So that's why you're getting the output as ch1 contains X. After incrementing, ch1 is now Y. So that now you come for the third type. So under third type you are having booleans. So Java is a the primitive type called boolean. So from boolean you will be having two types of values. One is true, the other one is false. You can have only one of the possible values, either true or false. So here is the following program which illustrates. So all the boolean will be used only when the condition will be either true or false. So condition in the sense you can't add it for arithmetic or any other. You can make use of relational expression. So boolean will give values will be returned only when there is a relational operator or relational expression. So take an example here, public static void main. So class name is booltest. So you should have a file name as booltest.java. So inside the main you are taking boolean b. Next b is equal to, you are assigning a value. Boolean b means b is a variable of boolean data type. Now you are assigning a value b is equal to false and you are printing. So what is a println statement? You will get it as b is false. Next you take b is equal to true. So when b is equal to true, you will be having the value printing b is true. Next you come for the statement. If b, you will be getting, if b means if condition is true, condition is true, the system.out, this is executed. As b contains a value true, it is going to execute this particular statement, and so that is, this is executed. Next you are having, a b is equal to false. If b, this is not executed. So if the condition is true, the statement, if b is what? False. So false, if condition is false, this statement will not be executed. So this is not executed because if of b, it is a simple if, there is no else part. If condition is false, this particular statement will not be executed. So you will be getting b is false. Next you will be getting B is true. Next, as B contains a value true, we are printing this condition is true, this is executed. But when you go for the false, that this particular statement will not be executed. Now you come for this one, 10 greater than 9 is plus 10 greater than 9. So 10 greater than 9 means condition is true or false? It is true. So it will print it as 10 greater than 9 is true. The output will be first B is false, next you get B is true, next you will get this is executed, next you will get 10 greater than 9 is true. But keep in your mind, this is simple if condition is true, this one will be executed. If condition is false, this one cannot be executed. As you have B is equal to false, this particular statement will not be executed. Next, continued. So after all this, now you come for the concept literals. So literals means integer, floating, Boolean, character, string. So as we have discussed all these previous concepts in previous, all these are only literals. So if they ask integer or integer literal, both are same, you explain the same thing. So now you come for the second topic, that is variables. So under variables you have, so under variables, so under variables, variables is a basic unit of storage in Java program. It is defined by the combination of identifier, type, and optional. So under this, we are declaring a variable. In Java, all variables will be in Java. All we declare a variables. So declaring a variables, we will be giving it as type identifier is equal to value, comma identifier is equal to value. So under that you are making use of concepts. So first one you take it as so variables first is will be the data type. Next you will be having identifier one, that is a variable name followed with a value. Rather than declaring, you can already have a initialization. So first here are the examples of variable declaration of variables types. Note that some include an initialization. So here first you make it of int a comma b comma c. Here only a b c are the variables which are of integer data type. Next int d is equal to 3, e comma f is equal to 5. Here we declare variables d, e, f with d equals 3 and f equals 5. Next byte z is equal to 22. Next double pi is equal to 3.14159. Char x is equal to x. So next you come for the concept. So what you take it as, so what you take it, this particular thing, that is byte z is equal to 22. Next you have double pi is equal to 3.14159, char x is equal to x. So after that now you come for the dynamic initialization. So under dynamic initialization, so you make it this particular concept. Dynamic initialization, although the preceding example of we used only constants as initializers, Java allows variables to be initialized dynamically using any expression valid at a time the variable is declared. So following is the program what you have, class init, public static void main. Here you are taking the variables, the program is for calculating the hypotenuse for the right angle triangle. So under that you are having three vertices A, B, C. A goes for a base, H for height, and then you are having hypotenuse C. So hypotenuse C you are calculating double C is equal to mat dot square root of S star A plus B star B. As you all know, to calculate the hypotenuse, you use C square is equal to A square plus B square. So in order to calculate only C is equal to square root of A square plus B square will be given using this statement. Mat dot square root of A star A plus B star B. Finally, you will be printing the hypotenuse. So dynamic initialization means here A and B are declared and initialized, but the output variable C is not yet calculated. So for that particular purpose, you are making use of double C is equal to mat dot square root of A star A plus B star B. So now you come for the concept called scope and lifetime of the variables. So under scope and lifetime of the variables, any particular block is begin with a opening curly brace and ended with a closing curly brace. So that is called as a block. Block defines a scope. So each time you start a block, you are creating a new scope. When the block is ended, the scope of the variable will also be ended. So many other variable comes under this particular things. So first you will be having uh, two scopes. One is scope defined by class, the other one is scope defined by the methods. So under scope defined by the class, you will be having scope defined by the class. You have uh, scope defined with various properties and attributes that do not apply to the scope. So under that, you have within if the variables are declared initially without any if blocks, then we call it as scope defined by class. If any variables are declared and initialized inside the if or for loops, then we call it as scope defined by the methods. So as a general rule, the variables declared inside the scope are not visible to the code that is defined outside that particular code. So that thing will be explained in the following program. So in this we are making use of uh, variables x and y. So answer under this x and y, we are first we initialize the x variable to 10, and a y variable will be declared and initialized inside the if. So we tell that x is X scope is available for the entire program, but Y scope is available only for the if block. So that's why we call it as scope by class and scope by method. Method scope by class means X scope is for entire the class, and Y scope is only for the method, that is if. So when you run this particular program, X is equal to 10. So initialize X is equal to 10. If X double equals 10, now you are having Y is equal to 20. Now you are printing X and Y values. X and Y are X10 and 20 will be printed, and now X will be having a value, X is equal to Y star 2. So X value is, what will be the X value? Y value is 20. 20 star 2 is equal to 40. X value will be 40. When X value is equal to 40, now you are having 40 double equals 10. So condition is false. So but after this, now you can have the print value, but Y value will be, as the condition is false, now Y won't be printed, and this particular X and Y statements are also be not printed. Now we have X is equal to 10. So X value, whatever if you are changing inside the loop, so X value remains same as 10. So that is the concept. So X remains 10, but as a loop is executed, will be terminated here. As the if loop will be terminated here, Y will not be there. So that is the concept, but X remains same. Okay, so next you come for this particular thing. So explanation is given. X is declared at start of main, and it is accessible to all subsequent code within the main. But if the Y block is declared inside the block, since the block defines scope, Y is only visible to all of the code within its block. ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಎಫ್ ಬ್ಲಾಕ್ ಒಳಗಡೆ ಮಾತ್ರನೇ ವೈ ಇರುತ್ತೆ, ಬೇರೆ ಎಲ್ಲೂ ಇರಲ್ಲ. ದಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಇಫ್ ವೈ ಔಟ್ಸೈಡ್ ಆಫ್ ವೈ line y is equal to 100 ಅಂತ ಕೊಟ್ಟಿದ್ದೀರಾ. So come for this program, y is given 100. But where the y is declared, is it declared inside the main or inside the if? So y is declared inside the if, but so its scope is only inside the if loop only. ಆಚೆ ಬಂದು y is equal to 100 ಅಂತ ಕೊಟ್ರು ನಿಮಗೆ y ಅನ್ನೋ ವ್ಯಾಲ್ಯೂನಲ್ಲಿ ಕೂರಲ್ಲ, ಯಾಕೆಂದ್ರೆ y ಅನ್ನೋದು ಡಿಕ್ಲೇರ್ ಆಗೇ ಇಲ್ಲ ಮೇನ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ. So it is declared inside the if, so it will be terminated once you exit that particular if statement. So that is the statement. So ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಹೇಳ್ತಿರೋದು count is equal to 100 ಅಂತ ಕೊಟ್ಟಿದ್ದೀರಾ, ಆಮೇಲೆ next int count ಅಂತ ಕೊಟ್ಟಿದ್ದೀರಾ. This can't be executed because any variable which before it is initialized, it should be declared first. So that is the concept. Now you come for this particular program. Here is the another concept that will discuss that particular thing. Take the class as lifetime, and that scope will be lifetime. So here you are making use of main function with a one variable called x. So x ಏನು ಮಾಡ್ತೀವಿ ಅಂದ್ರೆ x will be initialized to value 0, x less than 3 and x plus plus. So int y is equal to -1, system.out.println y is y. So x value ಏನಿರುತ್ತೆ 0. 0 is less than 3, condition true. ಆವಾಗ y ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಇರೋದೆಲ್ಲ ಎಕ್ಸಿಕ್ಯೂಟ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. So y is equal to -1 ಇದ್ದಾಗ y is equal to -1. y is equal to 100 ಕೊಟ್ಟಾಗ y is now 100. ಇದು ಇವೆರಡು y ಸ್ಟೇಟ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಯಾವಾಗ ಎಕ್ಸಿಕ್ಯೂಟ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ when x is equal to 0. Similarly, after executing, now x is incremented. What is the x value now? 1. So x is equal to 1. 1 less than 3, condition true. Again y is equal to -1, y is equal to 100. Y is now 100 ಅಂತ ಪ್ರಿಂಟ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. Next again increment value 2. 2 is less than 3, condition true. Again y is incremented, y value -1, y is now 100 ಅಂತ ಪ್ರಿಂಟ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. Again x will be incremented, x is equal to 3. 3 less than 3, condition is false, so y will not be there, but x existence will be there with x value as 3 but not y value, because for loop ಯಾವಾಗ ಫೇಲ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೋ ಆವಾಗಲೇ ನಿಮ್ಗಿರೋ ಈ y ಅಲ್ಲಿರೋ ವ್ಯಾಲ್ಯೂಸ್ ಇದ್ರ ಸ್ಟೇಟ್ಮೆಂಟ್ಸ್ ಎಲ್ಲ ಅದ್ರ ಸ್ಕೋಪ್ ನ ಕಳ್ಕೊಂತವೆ. So that's why we tell it as when block is left, when the variable declared within the block will lose its value when block is left. Thus lifetime of the is confined to its scope only. So this is our last particular thing you have. So inside the scope you can have a main function. You are making use of int bar is equal to 1, int bar is equal to 2. Same variable you are having, but you are having different values. For that time you can take it as bar is equal to 1 and bar equals to, it results in an error because you are using this different scopes. Illon scope, but different values for the same name. So it results in an error. Next you come for the conversion. So on variables you have conversions. So conversions in the sense you have so type conversion and type casting. Conversion ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಜ್ಞಾಪಕ ಇಟ್ಕೊಳ್ರಿ, ಕಡಿಮೆ ಇಂಟೀಜರ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಇದ್ದು ಅದನ್ನ ಫ್ಲೋಟ್ಗೆ ಇದು ಮಾಡಿದ್ರೆ ಕನ್ವರ್ಷನ್ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತೀವಿ. ಕಡಿಮೆಯಿಂದ ಜಾಸ್ತಿಗೆ ಮಾಡೋದನ್ನ ಕನ್ವರ್ಷನ್, ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ಡೇಟಾ ಸೈಜ್ ಇರೋದನ್ನ ಕಡಿಮೆ ತಗೊಂಡ್ಬರ್ಬೇಕು ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಕ್ಯಾಸ್ಟಿಂಗ್. ಇಷ್ಟೇ ಜ್ಞಾಪಕ ಇಟ್ಕೊಳ್ಳಿ. ಸೊ ಇಫ್ ಯು ಆರ್ ಕನ್ವರ್ಟಿಂಗ್ ಎ ಇಂಟೀಜರ್ ಟು ಎನಿ ಅದರ್ ಫ್ಲೋಟ್ ಅಂಡ್ ಆಲ್, ಸೊ ದೆನ್ ಯು ಗೋ ಫಾರ್ ದ ಟೈಪ್ ಕನ್ವರ್ಷನ್. ಫ್ಲೋಟ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಇರೋದನ್ನ ಇಂಟಿಗೆ ಮಾಡ್ತೀವಿ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಅದನ್ನ ಏನಂತೀವಿ, ಕ್ಯಾಸ್ಟಿಂಗ್ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತೀವಿ. So come for that particular concept, Java's automatic conversion. So Java's automatic conversion will be done when the input variable is of integer and output variable ಏನಾದ್ರೂ ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ಇದ್ದಿದ್ರೆ ಆವಾಗ automatic conversions ಅಂತ ಆಗ್ತವೆ. So type casting ಬನ್ನಿ. So type casting means when you convert higher level to lower level, ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಇಂಟೀಜರ್ ಡೇಟಾ ಟೈಪ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಇರೋದನ್ನ ಶಾರ್ಟ್ಗೆ ಇಲ್ಲ ಬೈಟ್ಗೆ ನೀವು ಕನ್ವರ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಿದೀವಿ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಆವಾಗ ಏನ್ ಬರುತ್ತೆ, ಕ್ಯಾಸ್ಟಿಂಗ್ ಅನ್ನೋದು ಬರುತ್ತೆ. ಕ್ಯಾಸ್ಟಿಂಗ್ ವಿಲ್ ಕನ್ವರ್ಟ್ ಲಾರ್ಜರ್ ಡೇಟಾ ಟೈಪ್ ಇಂಟು ಸ್ಮಾಲರ್ ಡೇಟಾ ಟೈಪ್. ಸೊ ದಿಸ್ ಇಸ್ ದ ಒನ್ ಪರ್ಟಿಕ್ಯುಲರ್ ಥಿಂಗ್ ಯು ಹ್ಯಾವ್. Casting will convert larger data type into smaller data type. So for that you require casting. So how you are going to do the casting? Here is an example. So to create a conversion between two incompatible, you must use a cast. A cast is an explicit type conversion. So here you cast an int to an byte. ಅರ್ಥ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಳ್ಳಿ, ಇಂಟು ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ಸೈಜ್ ಐತೆ, ಬೈಟ್ ಕಡಿಮೆ ಸೈಜ್ ಐತೆ, ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ನೀವು ಕನ್ವರ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಿದ್ದೀರಾ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಏನ್ ಬರುತ್ತೆ ಅಂತ ನೋಡ್ಕೋಬೇಕು. ಸೊ ದಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಇಂಟ್ ಎ ಬೈಟ್ ಬಿ, ಬಿ ಇಸ್ ಇಕ್ವಲ್ ಟು ಬೈಟ್ ಆಫ್ ಎ. ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಇನ್ಪುಟ್ ಏನ್ ತಗೊಂತಿದೀವಿ, ಎ. ಎ ಯಾವ ಡೇಟಾ ಟೈಪ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಐತೆ, ಇಂಟ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಐತೆ. ಔಟ್ಪುಟ್ ಏನು, ಬಿ. ಬಿ ಯಾವ ಡೇಟಾ ಟೈಪ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಐತೆ, ಬೈಟ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಐತೆ. ಇಂಟೀಜರ್ ಇಂದ ಬೈಟಿಗೆ ಕನ್ವರ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡೋದಕ್ಕೆ ನೀನು ಕ್ಯಾಸ್ಟಿಂಗ್ ಅನ್ನೋ ಕಾನ್ಸೆಪ್ಟ್ ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀಯ. ಓಕೆ, ಸೊ ಸಿಮಿಲರ್ಲಿ ಇಂಟಲ್ಲಿರೋದು ಫ್ಲೋಟ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು, ಫ್ಲೋಟ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿರೋದು ಇಂಟಿಗೆ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು ಅನ್ನೋದು ಎಲ್ಲದನ್ನು ನೀವು ಕ್ಯಾಸ್ಟಿಂಗ್ ಅನ್ನಲ್ಲೇ ನೋಡ್ಕೊಂತೀರಾ. ಟೇಕ್ ದಿಸ್ ಪರ್ಟಿಕ್ಯುಲರ್ ಎಕ್ಸಾಂಪಲ್ ವಿಚ್ ಗಿವ್ಸ್. ಸೊ ಯಾವುದೇ ಒಂದು ಇಂಟೀಜರ್ ಆಗಲಿ, ಫ್ಲೋಟೇ ಆಗಲಿ, ಡಬಲೇ ಆಗಲಿ, ಇಫ್ ಯು ಆರ್ ಕನ್ವರ್ಟಿಂಗ್ ಇಟ್ ಇನ್ ಟು ದ ಬೈಟ್, ಯು ಶುಡ್ ರಿಮೆಂಬರ್ ದಟ್ ನಂಬರ್ ಶುಡ್ ಬಿ ಮಾಡೆಡ್ ವಿತ್ 256. ಅರ್ಥ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಳ್ಳಿ ನಾನು ಹೇಳೋದನ್ನ. ಸೊ ಈ ಪ್ರೋಗ್ರಾಮ್ ತಗೊಂಡೇ ಹೇಳ್ತೀನಿ. Class name is conversion. So file name is conversion.java. So now you go for the main function. You take byte b and int I and double d. So byte value ನೀವು ಕೊಡಬೇಕು ಅಂದ್ರೆ ತುಂಬಾ ಕಡಿಮೆ ವ್ಯಾಲ್ಯೂಸ್ ಕೊಡಬೇಕು. But so we are taking integer and double value, and you are converting integer to byte, and now you are converting double to integer and double to byte. ಇಂಟೀಜರ್ ಇರೋದನ್ನ ಬೈಟ್ಗೂ ಕನ್ವರ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು, ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ ಡಬಲ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಇರೋದನ್ನ ಇಂಟೀಜರ್ಗೂ ಕನ್ವರ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು, ಡಬಲ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಇರೋದನ್ನ ಬೈಟ್ಗೂ ಕನ್ವರ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು. ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ಹೆಂಗೆ ಅಂತ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ನೋಡ್ತೀರಾ. ಸೊ ಫಸ್ಟ್ ಇಂಟೀಜರ್ ಟು ಬೈಟ್. ಸೊ ಕನ್ವರ್ಷನ್ ಆಫ್ ಇಂಟು ಬೈಟ್. ಇಂಟೀಜರ್ ಅನ್ನೋ ವೇರಿಯಬಲ್ ಯಾವುದು, ಐ. ಐ ಇಸ್ ಕನ್ವರ್ಟೆಡ್ ಇಂಟು ಬೈಟ್. ಸೊ ದಟ್ಸ್ ವೈ ವಿ ಗಿವ್ ಬೈಟ್ ಆಫ್ ಐ. B is equal to byte of I. If you give like that, what will be the byte value? So integer number ಏನಾಯ್ತೆ, that should be modded with 256. So integer value, what is the integer value? 257. 257 is to be modded with 256. That gives a remainder. Mod ಮಾಡಿದ್ರೆ ನಾವು ಯಾವಾಗಲೂ ತಗೊಳ್ಳೋದೇನು, ರಿಮೈಂಡರ್. ರಿಮೈಂಡರ್ will be the byte value. So according to our formula, what is the integer value? 257 modded with 256 will give a remainder 1. So what will be 1 will be the byte value the b will contain. So when you go for the println statement, I and b value, what is I value? 257. What is byte value? 1. So that's why you are getting it as I and b are 257 and 1. So now you come for conversion of double to int. Under conversion from double to int, you have ಡಬಲ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಏನೈತೆ, ಡಬಲ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಇರೋದು ಇಂಟೀಜರ್ ಕನ್ವರ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಇಂಟೀಜರ್ ವಿಲ್ ಹೋಲ್ಡ್, ಡಸ್ ನಾಟ್ ಹೋಲ್ಡ್ ಡೆಸಿಮಲ್ ವ್ಯಾಲ್ಯೂ, ಬಟ್ ಇಟ್ ಹೋಲ್ಡ್ಸ್ ಎನಿ ನಂಬರ್ ಬಿಫೋರ್ ದ ಡೆಸಿಮಲ್ ಪಾಯಿಂಟ್. ಸೊ ಡಬಲ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಇರೋದು ಇಂಟೀಜರ್ ಕನ್ವರ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು ಅಂದ್ರೆ 323 with 142.142 will be removed. Only 323 will be the output when you go for converting it into the integer. 323 ಮಾತ್ರ ಇರುತ್ತೆ, 142 will be truncated. So what is the word you use? Truncate. Truncate means remove what are all the things you are having after the decimal point. So that will be printed d and I. What is d value? 323.142. What is I value? It is 323. Now we convert by the d value into byte. So adike what statement you give? B is equal to byte of d. So what is the d value you will be having? It is 323.142. What is when you convert to byte? 323.142 ಅದರೊಳಗಡೆ 0.142 ತೆಗೆದಾಗುತ್ತೆ. 323 mod 256 ಮಾಡುತ್ತೆ. 256 ಮಾಡಿದಾಗ ರಿಮೈಂಡರ್ ಏನ್ ಬರುತ್ತೆ? ರಿಮೈಂಡರ್ ವಿಲ್ ಬಿ 67. ಸೊ ದಟ್ ವಿಲ್ ಬಿ ದ ಔಟ್ಪುಟ್. ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ ಆಟೋಮೆಟಿಕ್ ಟೈಪ್ ಪ್ರಮೋಷನ್ಸ್. ಸೊ ಕೀಪ್ ಅದು ಫಾರ್ಮುಲಾ ಹೇಳಿದ್ ಜ್ಞಾಪಕ ಐತಲ್ವಾ, ಮಾಡ್ ಹೆಂಗ್ ಮಾಡೋದು ಅಂತ. when value 257 is casted into byte, the result is the remainder of division of 257 by 256, so which is 1 in this case. So automatic type promotion in expression. So automatic type promotion means you are making use of these things. In addition, there is first you take promote ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಏನು, ಕಡಿಮೆದಿರೋದು ಜಾಸ್ತಿಗೆ ಪ್ರಮೋಟ್ ಮಾಡಿ ಕಳ್ಸೋದು. ಸೊ ಯು ಟೇಕ್ ಬೈಟ್ ಎ, ಬೈಟ್ ಬಿ, ಬೈಟ್ ಸಿ, ಬಟ್ ಫೈನಲ್ ಔಟ್ಪುಟ್ ವೇರಿಯಬಲ್ ಇಸ್ ಡಿ. ಸೊ ಇಂಟ್ ಡಿ ಇಸ್ equal to a star b by c. ಸೊ ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ನಾವೇನ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀವಿ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಎ ಬೈಟ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಐತೆ ಬಿ ಬೈಟ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಐತೆ ಎರಡು ಮಲ್ಟಿಪ್ಲೈ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರೆ ಬೈಟ್ ಗಿಂತ ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ಸೈಜ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಇರುತ್ತೆ. ಸೊ 40 ಸ್ಟಾರ್ 50 is equal to 2000. 2000 is not the size for byte. Okay, so for that particular purpose you are dividing it, converting that into integer. ರಿಸಲ್ಟೆಂಟ್ ಡೇಟಾ ಟೈಪ್ ಯಾವ್ದ್ರಲ್ಲಿ ಐತೆ ಅಂತ ನೋಡ್ಕೊಂಡು ಎಂಟೈರ್ ಕಡಿಮೆ ಇರೋದನ್ನ ರಿಸಲ್ಟಿಂಗ್ ಡೇಟಾ ಟೈಪಿಗೆ ಕನ್ವರ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಂತೀರಾ. ಸೊ ಫಸ್ಟ್ ಟು ಹ್ಯಾಂಡಲ್ ದಿಸ್ ಕೈಂಡ್ ಜಾವಾ ಆಟೋಮೆಟಿಕ್ಲಿ ಪ್ರಮೋಟ್ಸ್ ಬೈಟ್ ಶಾರ್ಟ್ ಕ್ಯಾರ್ ಯಾವುದೇ ಇದ್ರೂ ಇಂಟಿಜರ್ಗೆ ಕನ್ವರ್ಟ್ ಆಟೋಮೆಟಿಕ್ ತಾನೇ ಮಾಡುತ್ತೆ, ನೀನೇನೋ ಕೊಡೋ ಅವಶ್ಯಕತೆ ಬೇಕಾಗಿಲ್ಲ. So but you come for this particular, here you are giving byte, here you are giving int, here also you are giving byte. So that particular thing will not be required if you take like that. Okay, so that is the conversions. Next, type promotion rules you take. So what are the type promotion rules? So first, all byte short char are promoted to int. If one operand is long, the whole expression is long. If one operand is float, the entire expression is promoted to float. If any of the operands is double, the result is a double. Inge promotion agutte. So here is the following example. So we take byte, char, short, int, float, everything with the double also. Finally, you get the result. So ಈ result ಹೆಂಗ್ ಬರುತ್ತೆ ಅಂತ ನೀವು ನೋಡ್ಕೋಬೇಕು. So while going for the result, so you choose first you have f star b. F ಯಾವ್ದ್ರಲ್ಲಿ ಐತೆ b ಯಾವ್ದ್ರಲ್ಲಿ ಐತೆ ಅಂತ ನೋಡ್ಕೊಳ್ಳಿ. F belongs to float, b belongs to byte. So which is converted, ಕಡಿಮೆ ಇರೋದು ಜಾಸ್ತಿಗೆ ಕನ್ವರ್ಟ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. So byte b is converted, promoted to float. Now you come for I star c. I is integer, c is character. ಕಡಿಮೆ ಇರೋದು ಯಾವುದು, char. So c char is converted, promoted to integer because I is of integer. Next, d star s. So d is double, s is short. So yes, short s is converted into double. Next in subsequence, f star b. F star b means float with byte. So b is converted into float. Next, I star c. Int with c. Int with char. So char is converted into int. So similarly, the result will be calculated. So next you come for the third topic. So what is the third topic you are having? It is an array. So first one is data type, second one is variables, and third one is arrays. So when you come for the arrays, you will be having array means it is say if you are having so many n number of variables of same data type, then you can make use of array concept. So array is a group of variables that are referred by a common name which contain n number of values of same type. So in that you are having two types of arrays, one dimensional array, the other one is multi-dimensional or two-dimensional array. So first you come for the declaration of one dimensional array and initialization. So declaration means you should have data type with a variable. So variable name you give, var name, that is it is a general form. First is the data type followed by variable name with array open and close. We inside this array brackets you contain the size. So here type declares the base type of an array. Base type determines data type of each element. So example is int month underscore days. So here month underscore days is an array variable which contains all the integer values. How many integer values? It's not given the maximum size yet inside this flower brackets, that will be given later. So come for initialization. While initializing how many values, you can take like this format. So that is array name is equal to new type of size. So in the previous you gave type var name. So in this particular you take it as array var is equal to new type of size. So example will be taken as how many months will be there inside the day. It will be months underscore days is equal to new int of 12. So how many values it will contain? It contains 12 elements for an array of month underscore days. So how you give how you declare and initialize it will be common. Your array index will start from 0 to max element what you have given inside the declaration. So suppose if you are initializing any value to any of the value, you can take it as month underscore days of 1 is equal to 28. That is the second value starting from index 0, 0, second element is 1, that will have a value 28. So following is the program which can be given like that. So class name is array, so file name should be array.java. Inside that you consider the main function. First will be the declaration of an array, that is we declare an array month underscore days with a integer data type. Next you take month underscore days is equal to new int of 12. That means how many values it will hold? It will hold 12 values. So you will be starting from 0 to 11. You will be giving all the values, and finally you are printing one of the print statement. So April means which of the month? It is the fourth month, but as the array will start from 0, we'll be giving it as month underscore days of 3. So month 0 is January, February, March, April. So month underscore days of 3 is equal to 30. So that will be the array values. So April has how many days? It has 30 days. So that will be the continuation, what explanation, what I have told. So now you come for improved version of the previous program. So entire program, rather than writing one by one value, you can give it like that. Int month days is equal to, you can give all the values and you can print that particular months of 3. Defaultly month underscore days of 0 will have 31, month underscore days of 1 will have 28, and so on. So one more example. Here is an example of one-dimensional array. So this one-dimensional array will have given the values. The program is to sum all the numbers and find the average of the numbers. So we declare a new one-dimensional array nums with how many values? With the 5 values with the result 0. So we take an integer variable I to add all the values, sum all the 5 values. So start with 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. So you should it should take fourth value and it should not take fifth value. So that's why we are giving not take fifth value means I less than 5. So I plus plus result is equal to, initially result will be 0. For that you will be adding nums of 0. So nums of I means I value is 0. So nums of 0 will go for value 10.1. So 0 plus 10.1 is equal to 10.1. Next inside the result, now you are adding 10.1 with 11.2. Like that, keep on iterating, it will add all the values, and finally to find the average, you you take the result and divided it with 5. That will give you the value. Next you come for multidimensional arrays. So multidimensional, or you take it as two-dimensional array only. So two-dimensional best example is matrix. It is mostly, as you take two-dimensional, it is applicable only for the matrix purposes. So you can have a row matrix will contain rows and columns. Here also you can declare and initialize like that. So into 2D is the variable name, int is a data type which takes how many values? 4 and 5. That means it 4 rows followed with the 5 columns. So here is the following program which illustrates a two-dimensional array. So under two-dimensional array, you take it as a class 2D array with a main function. So 4 rows with 5 columns. So first use be very careful. So first you take you see where you are taking opening the I and where you are taking the J. So each and everything it's not shown here. So first I will start with thing of, it will take how many rows? It will take 4 rows, and each row should contain how many values? So it should contain 5 values. One row should contain 5 values. So under one I loop, how many times the J loop should be executed? Under one first I loop, J loop should be executed 5 times, and again I loop, it should be incremented, J loop should be incremented 5 times. So that is the concept. So that's why we are not opening any for I. Under one I loop, j loop is to be executed how many times? It is 5 times it should be executed. So this is that's why we are not opening any for loop for I here, because it is executed only once and then j is executed 5 times. Understanding? So after this, now you are going for incrementation, and I after 0, now you are going for incrementation, and now while printing you are opening I but not j, because you have to print the value for I. The j, you are opening I and the j is to be executed 5 times there. So this is the program. So what it is going to print, first I value is 0, j value is 0. What is the k value? K is equal to 0. So I remains in 0 only, j goes for incrementation, that is 1. So 0, 1, it should type k plus plus. So 0 is incremented by 1, so it goes for 1. So that is an example. Finally, while printing, you are opening the I loop but not the j loop. So that is the left index terms what you are having. So as you all know in the previous program, so first you have done with zeros. The high loop is not open, but j loop is open for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 times. But while printing, high loop is open, but j is not opened. That is the concept. So this is the concept what you have, the left index and right index. Left index will row and right index determines columns. So you can also have a declaration and initialization like this also. Rather than giving the new int of 4 comma 5, you can give 4 as rows there and columns as column wise initialization as 1 by 1 like this also. So that is the program what you are making use. So that is you are giving 4 rows, but in first row if you are getting only 1, and second row you should get 3, and third zeroth row you should get 1. So in order to get zeroth row 1 element, and first row 2 element, and second row 3 element, and fourth row 4, third row fourth elements, you have to take like this is the concept. So your zeroth element, so 0 0, you should get only one element, k will be incremented. So now we will be having, so you are printing the values by opening I. Next again go back. So 0 1 1 you will be having. So condition will be given it as I less than 5, j less than 5 it was. Now we are taking j less than I plus 1. So that is the iteration what change what you are doing in previous and this program as well. So this will be the representation what you take for multidimensional arrays. So similarly, you can print the matrix in the form of this by giving the directly the values. So what values you give, that will be printed like this. So this is the concept what you have. So finally, this is the very rare case you have this particular program. So better you look up to that particular previous concepts you look up to here. You execute all these programs, and these are very exceptional cases and not so important from exam point of view also. So this will end this particular array concept also. So remaining and all, you have the chapter 3. Chapter 3 is this one. Chapter 4 is operator. Chapter 5 is branching and looping. So till now you have studied the chapter 3. Here I will be uploading this particular video, and similarly use the reference document also I will be uploading in our second year group. Kindly go through, and if any doubts you are feel free to ask me, because understanding the programs and all, you better type and do the things, so then only you can easily understand these particular concepts. So if any doubts, feel free to contact me. So this is chapter 3. Here I will be ending my class. Thank you one and all.